So in other words, your question or what you're trying to drive at is that if Jesus is who he was, then why don't we see more extra biblical sources for him?
Exactly, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so in fact, that's a really good question. We actually do. We have so many sources of Jesus' existence, that he was allegedly a miracle worker, a great ethical teacher, and that his disciples believed in a resurrection of his. You have Pliny the Younger, you have Phlegon, you have a couple other here that I have in my notes, that you have Tacitus, a Roman historian and politician, Josephus, a Roman Jewish historian and military leader. He writes that the disciples believed to have had appearances or experiences of the risen Jesus, but he himself did not believe in the resurrection, or else he would have been a Christian. You have Clement of Rome, Ignatius, and the Gospel of Peter later, which was found to be a forgery of what actually supposedly happened, right? But these are just to name a few of the many who actually wrote on him. But the thing is that, can it be that the reason why we ask that question is because maybe the disciples were biased? Or in other words, or I don't know, maybe that's just my train of thought. What do you think, Ash?
Yeah, I agree. I think that the extra biblical sources help us because, like, even though the disciples' witnesses can't be just discarded, like, everyone has their biases, but a testimony is still a testimony, which is why we can still take the gospel accounts as a testimony. And the question is it accurate to what actually happened? We can't just discard the gospel accounts just because it's by the disciples any more than we can discard, say, an atheist testimony about what they believe just because they're an atheist. You have to take everything and then ask if it's actually accurate to what happened. Like he said, these extra biblical sources help because they're not from believers, but they do recognize the existence of Jesus. And then what Christians believed. They explain what Christians believe. They, of course, themselves didn't believe it, though. So I think that helps.